Okay. Lapping time. Okay. That's our wonderful flat comb top. And what are we doing? Are we doing this? Why are we doing this? We're doing this because when I put these parts together, there's too much gap between the comb top and the underside of this that the slide runs in. That's an air gap. Anywhere there's air, anywhere the parts don't fit, there's gap. There can be air flying out. So let's get on it and fix it. I'm going to use regular Colgate toothpaste, calcium diphosphate, and I'll show you the setup, and we'll get. This is kind of a state secret. It's kind of things people don't show typically if they're workmen. They're their secrets. But why not? We'll have a little fun together. Okay. The way I do this is start there, then I take some toothpaste, put it in my hand. Oops, how about doing the right side? Okay, let's do the right side. It'll go better if we do the right side. Okay, it's not so bad, huh? Okay, everybody's got a little toothpaste on them. Okay. Now, the next thing is you got to make sure that you seat this properly. Okay, you don't want to be seating it wrong, so I want to do a visual check and make sure that, in fact, I am where I want to be. Down pressure, and here we go. Repeat. I have a fun story about this. I was flown out to the factory of a manufacturer where we're having constant problems with air tightness with their instruments. I took all this stuff, you know, and their staff were put around me, and I showed them how to lap, and I said, it's the only way you're going to get your harp air tightened. And it took me about 45 minutes. And all the workers got up and walked away and said, it's too hard, we're not going to do that. How about that? And the harps they make are still not airtight because they wouldn't do the work. Needless to say, I was not impressed. It's not easy to do things right. You want to do things right, you gotta do them right. Okay, now, this is just cleaning up enough to test. This is not a final clean. I want to do a test now and see how much progress I've made. I'm hoping you can see the zone I'm working on real clearly. I guess I can put it here. It's better, but it's still not to where I want it, but it's closer. It's about halfway. Doing stuff by hand has some really wonderful advantages. You won't take off so much material. I mean, it's a very fine pumice, and but because it's all handwork and done this way, you know, I mean, you can't take off too much. You start using machines to do this work, and get yourself in a world of trouble real quick. Take off too much material. I do a lot of work by hand. See, in a factory, they wouldn't do this. Too much time. It's the time, the work that costs money in a factory. We're pretty close right now, I can tell. I can just feel it. I know where I need to be here. I flip it. Why? Equal out left to right. I may be favoring one side a little bit. Fortunately, this is rocking, so it's no big deal. Let's clean again and test. Now you see why I tried to make sure that those little metal things in the comb are in there securely, because I'm working it. Oh, that's close. That's close. But we got a little further to go. Just a little further. You see I spread it on my hands. Come in and just touch. Put a little bit on there. Now, you could push down real hard, right? Or you could do it gently. I tend to use gentle, but then I'll run it a little longer. Make sure that it's lined in there. You don't want to be scraping on this in the wrong position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come around. Flip it around here. 1, 2. Okay. Now, a good question would be, gosh, Dave, what if I do this and I tape just a little bit too much and the slide starts binding when I put it together? Well, all you have to do is just re-sand down the comb a little bit, right? You'd be right back where you were. So really, you make a mistake here, it's not very serious. Don't forget, we're only taking off, 4/10,000ths of an inch. I mean, this is nothing. Well, it's not nothing. It's enough to affect air tightness. Now this I like. Okay. That's correct. There's just a hair of room for the slide oil. This is dead airtight now. That is dead airtight on that. Okay, so this goes in the trash here. And now let's give everybody a good cleaning again and a good rinsing. It can be dried and put together. I'm very excited, I suppose you could say, about this technique. I'll back up now since we're washing. You don't need to see a close-up anymore. Here we go. I can take my light off, right? Come here and maybe you can see me talking to you. I'm very excited about this technique because I think it really takes harmonica repair to a higher level. And I know the difference it makes in play. I didn't know when I got this harp whether it would require just the flattening using the sanding block or whether I was going to end up doing what I did. Either way is okay by me. I mean, this is certainly more time and effort and skill, but I don't really I can't tell somebody in advance, how much I'm going to have to go through. And you mean sometimes I have to polish slides because I don't like the way they're moving in the thing. That's another thing that can affect what's going on. Now this is first rinse. This is just the first rinse. Just to get the, get that soap off. Okay, now we go for our final rinse. But I'll tell you what, man, if you're willing to learn to lap, you can really dial stuff in. I think that technique is used on race engines when they're dialing them in to get the parts perfectly seated. They'll put a compound in and twirl it by hand, like cams. Lapping does exist in the machining world. I have never seen it discussed or described in the harmonica world. I watch longer than I think I should have to. Okay. This completes our oh-so-fun discussion of lapping and air tightening, and I'm gonna let that stuff dry, and I'm gonna put this harp together again. Hope you enjoyed it.